the Botchamania thing's amazing. You've travelled all over the world with it too, which is wicked. Man, like, I remember, like, obviously being in Preston with you and stuff. Like, was it an idea? Was Botchamania a thing? Because I know I've watched interviews with you where you said it was just an idea that took off. But was it like, you know, how has it developed since us being in Preston together at uni?
The thing was, with going to there, I had, for some context, gone to QE in Darlington, which at the time when I went was the #1 rated college in the Northeast. So I worked my bollocks off because I thought that's what I had to do. So I didn't do a lot of stuff when it came to, you know, fucking during college. So I was that kid. I was that Millhouse nerd who was like, I'm going to work hard. I'm going to do the best. I got some very good marks. I'm still happy.
Yeah, man.
But then I went to uni and I was very disillusioned for a bit. Maybe I blame Preston too much, but I thought college, really hard. People here smart. People here try. Okay. University, the next level, the major leagues. And I went there and there were the same people I'd wanted to leave Northeast for, you know. So I moved from Portland to Preston. There were people there going, hey, I'm only doing film media because I got declined for the degree I wanted to do, and this looks easy. I'm like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
And I realized how many people treat it as a Mickey Mouse course. So I felt I didn't do anywhere near enough partying and stuff that people usually associate with university. It took me a while to realize, oh, okay, this is how this is, right? Okay, I want to see it through. So I did a lot of stuff with Botchamania whilst doing the full-time degree, and whilst also working at the Asian Elders Institute in town, serving up 8-year-old Asian people and Indians who'd come around for their food, served by 90-year-old chefs. So it was your job basically to get the big bowls and stuff. Oh, what's over there? And also working at the library in New Clan. So that was nice, telling people to shut the fuck up. And then working at the Odeon Cinema during the summer. I look back at that and I don't think I've worked anywhere near as hard as that since. With good reason, because holy shit. So I was still doing it during that period. And this was like the early days of YouTube and Dailymotion. So I would read reviews on websites like 411 Mania and then go on Dailymotion and somebody would upload them in fantastic 10-minute segments at 480p.
Yeah.
Oh. So some of those old Botchamanias I don't like looking at because they look terrible. Because that's what was available at the time. They're presented in glorious 2008 vision. So, So yes, I was still keeping up, but it was just a thing I did in my spare time. I didn't bring it up much with people. And when I moved back to Newcastle, I still didn't bring it up with people because I just assumed that's just that thing I do in my spare time when there's nothing to do. Yeah, I'll just do Botchamania. And so it ended up helping me through times when there wasn't a lot going on in my life. I'm not lied on.
Man, I think Preston. I look back at it and like I say, there was some bleak elements to it, but then you've done so much since. You know, I mean, obviously you're talking about like, you know, maybe not getting laid as much when you were at uni or whatever. But like you traveling the world now, man. I watched an interview with you at MagVest, and you know, people treating you like a rock star, which is great. I believe the AEW, you've been interviewed by Taz, the AEW.
Yeah.
The Wrestle Talk and What Culture have got you on board because you're a great personality. So how have you changed and developed as a person, I guess, whether you're getting more, you know, whatever now, how have you changed and developed as a person since that period of time, the start of Botchamania, right up until now?
Well, yeah, don't worry, Dom, I'm getting enough of that to keep me happy. But the thing is, yeah, you're right, how has it changed me? Well, I started taking it a lot more seriously now. It used to be that I would just watch some wrestling, do a video. All right, that's it. And on one hand, it's easier to not think about too much. When you think of it as only there's maybe 400 people who watch this, it's easier mentally. But I think that's a bit of a cop-out because it just means, I don't have to try as hard. So now I'm, make sure everything's all right, make sure it's good quality because it's 2020, everything's available in at least 1080p. And if it's not, then why even bothering? What you're doing with that, trying hard with the clips because now I'm like the man from Del Monte going and picking up fruits. You know, I'm like, that's not that good. I mean, it's like, a slight stumble. Nah. Because you realize now with a brand, you've got to keep the brand to a reputation, to a sense of quality. I'm not saying that very well, but you know what I mean. And as you'll know with Soundspear, you prepare for your interviews with musicians. You know who they're seeing, how to Hey, you're all right, mate. You know how to present yourself when you talk to these people. So the weirdest bit, though, is growing as a person. It's realizing how many different like masks you have to put on, because there's so many different types of people that watch Botchamania. There's the wrestlers, who some of them want to know kindly which one of their friends sent them that clip, and you have to put that mask on and goes, I don't know who it was.
Yeah.
Wasn't your tag partner, though? Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that. So you have to realize that. There's the fans that just want to see WWE stuff. There's the fans that want to see the indie stuff. There's fans that want to see more of this bit. So you have to get a variety. You have to get like a bag of rebels. You know, some people want the Maltesers, some people want the coffee ones, some of those are freaks, to be honest with you. But it's that. It's realizing it's like any sales job. You've got to know what your audience wants and give it to them. And also learning some stuff, a little social media. It's a very important thing. And I saw you tweet messaging a while ago going, bloody hell, I spent all this time on Facebook. I tweeted out something and got more notifications and interactions with it than anything I've done on Facebook. Yeah, it is. But at the same time, with great power comes great responsibility. Twitter should be treated like a bank heist. You go in, you get what you want, and then you fuck off, because you have full interaction with everybody that wants to follow you and send you a message. A lot of it is good, but a lot of it's negative and can really get to you. So you can't treat it anything as other than a place for gifts, cats, and plugs. So
That's good advice, actually, man. I like that. And obviously, you talk about, you know, obviously people following you and people commenting and stuff. You've experienced such a level of success with Botchamania in terms of what it's been able to open up doors for you. How do you define success as a person? Like, what does success mean to you? Do you feel like a success, and what does it mean to you as in general?
That's a good question, Dom. I have to think about that. What means success to me? Am I doing something that I enjoy? And I'd say yes. There's bits that I don't like. Like, there's many times, especially during lockdown, when I've had to go, I have to watch Raw. Oh no, it's 3 hours. I'm like, and you get that self-reflecting going, you're watching wrestling. You get to do videos. You're inexplicably in a position where you take the piss out of wrestlers doing their best. And they like it. They like you for it.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. Success. Yeah. One of the things I struggled as a kid was when people go, what do you want to do when you grow up? What's your dream job?
Yeah.
And I never have fantasized about work. To me, that's not a thing I look at. And then I think that's been negative to me in the long run, because not having that goal means I have flipped and flopped. But right now, success to me is living a life that I'm happy with. I've got a system going. I enjoy watching the rest, and I like video editing. Like the process of making the videos is easily the highlight. And more, here we go, his success. If more people like you than dislike you.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that. I think that's cool. You know, I think it's got this kind of cult, you know, you've developed this cult following. I noticed that Taz once compared it to ECW when it's following. And I think that was really cool, like, to have that. Like,
I think that was one of those backhanded compliments, because he was comparing my fans to mutants. But hard to disagree.
Well, I don't know, man. I think when you watch Botchamania, obviously you got to take it with a pinch of salt, and it is interesting because you've said that wrestlers do come to you and they're like, oh, where have you got this clip on? But I think was it Sanjay Dutt was like complimentary, and he was like, thanks for coming.
Yeah, because I'd say nice things. I'll go. Yeah, I mean, I think there's obviously been a huge rise in the last few years on YouTube of things like fail compilations.
Yes.
And I think what set Botchamania apart and keeps it going is the fact that it tries to be, obviously, I mean, it's not a perfect thing, laughing with rather than laughing at. Mm-hmm. Again, that's not a definitive statement. There's been many times where I've gone, that guy's crap and I don't like him. And then that person's messaged me going, thanks for the plug. But probably it tries to be like, look, I'm a wrestling fan. Even watching all this wrestling, you know, I joke about Raw because it's almost like an instinctive reaction, a Pavlovian response to having to watch that thing. But I still watch it, because the good bits I do enjoy, and they're worth putting up with the bad bits sometimes. So I think that's it. When people go, oh, you actually do enjoy wrestling. It's not like, silly leather-clad thing. I guess because a lot of wrestlers, and you have to ask them basically, because I'm sure they'll have a much different response. There's so many times wrestlers have to justify just wrestling to people they know.
Yeah.
So a lot of people will be laughing, look at you, spandex lad. But I'm like, yeah, it's wrestling. I messed that bit up, but whatever. Here's some DuckTales music to go over the top. And Sanjay Dutt was one because I was always a supporter of him because he was a CCW wrestler.
Yeah.
And CCW has always been this black sheep of independent wrestling, despite going longer than PWG and Ring of Honor. So I was like, yeah, Sanjay Dutt. And I think that was the very start of people going, oh, you're all right. Yeah, okay, we'll give you that.
Yeah.
Well done for putting Sanjay. Yeah, I realised I was putting the blame on everybody that Sanjay Dutt wrestled.
Yeah,
It became a joke at that point. I should have kept on going, like Sanjay Dutt messes up and just say Sanjay Dutt deserves better than Sanjay Dutt. Let me write that down.
Yeah, there you go. You could, yeah, absolutely. No, it is awesome, man. Because I think, like, you know, these wrestlers, it's a little bit of extra exposure. It's a little bit different as well. It allows people to take, you know, things a bit less seriously. And I think that's the thing about wrestling is a lot of people take it too seriously. Now, one of the things I wanted to ask you was how your passion for wrestling has developed, because obviously it's a job. You know, it's something that you do day in, day out. You've got to watch all these shows. People don't always think about that. Obviously, if they watch interviews with you, you do talk about it. You have to watch the shows meticulously. You have to work very quickly when it comes to getting it all together and getting it out. So how has your passion changed? I know you're still a wrestling fan, but has it changed your attitude towards wrestling and what it means to you and how much you enjoy it over the years?
Yes, because there's many times I'm watching a show that I have no interest in, but again, you put that mask on and go, oh, hey, I like that thing there at minute 3, and then 2.5 hours later, there was something else I liked. And in between then, well, we'll just not talk about it. So, again, it ebbs and flows. I would be very foolish to watch wrestling all these years and expect it to be consistently good. Like I said, there's good bits. We'll talk about WWE basically, specifically, because the thing most people care about, like how good the quality is. Any other company in the world, it's like you can hand wave the reason why it wasn't good. But with WWE, there could be any number of reasons. There could be JBL as champion for about 5 years, or that's what it felt like. Roman Reigns has pushed, that just doesn't work. And all these other things. And right now it's COVID. So there's reasons for that. And the thing that helps me through that is, okay, I'm watching wrestling and enough people to support me to support myself with this. I've had many other jobs, many crap jobs. I remember back to them when I've had to wake up at, 6 a.m. to get up and go talk to arseholes on the phone. And then oh no, another Mandy Rose promo. No sympathy whatsoever for that. But having a passion, it's because I like wrestling so much, it's not that hard for me to find something that was good about the show, that was positive about that one person. I mean, I do a bit of commentary for North Wrestling, the Tyneside-based promotion, and some commentator by the name of Stallion gave me some great advice and goes, well, even if you're talking about one of the guys in the ring and they're a bad guy, at least say something that you like about what they're doing, like begrudgingly. Like, I may not like that Mike Ashley, but he throws a damn good drop kick or whatever. It just makes the commentary more exciting and interesting. Just he's a dickhead him for 10 minutes.